Y'all, hold on to your seats and grab the premium popcorn, because the universe just did something so messy, so petty, and so incredibly poetic that I'm convinced the writers of Succession are now running real life. Did Michael B. Jordan just become the first man in history to win an Academy Award and a Best Revenge trophy in the same damn night? Because while the rest of the world was looking at that gold statue in his hand, Michael was looking directly into the camera and, allegedly, straight into the soul of one Laurie Harvey. Was that a victory speech, or was it a 2-minute masterclass in how to professionally clown your ex on a global stage? I'm talking about a generational lick back so cold it could freeze the Mediterranean. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just an Oscar, he's just happy. Oh, you sweet, innocent soul. You clearly haven't been paying attention to the whispers coming out of the after-parties. We are talking about leaked texts, oppressed Laurie Harvey allegedly losing her mind in a London flat, and Damson Idris currently being Googled as the man who isn't Michael B. Jordan. Did Laurie really tell Michael to his face that he'd never hold that gold man? Did the Harvey camp really try to sabotage this moment with a 2026 smear campaign that backfired so hard it hit Steve's mustache? Get ready, because we are exposing the Mama Joyce Clause 2.0, the fake cheating narratives, and the exact moment Michael B. Jordan realized that sometimes the best way to move on is to win so big your ex has to watch it in 4K from the sidelines. Is this the end of the Laurie Harvey IT girl era? And did Michael just prove that his bad energy was actually just her? We've got the receipts, the anonymous sources from the Harvey inner circle, and the tea is boiling over. Don't blink. You do not want to miss what happened at the governor's ball. The true story of the drama between Michael B. Jordan and Laurie Harvey begins right here, a narrative that remained buried for a long time until that one fateful Oscar night stripped everything bare. When we talk about Hollywood power couples, Michael and Laurie used to sit at the very top of the list, but the silence following their split was merely the calm before a massive storm. Michael always maintained his dignity and never looked back, but Laurie's track record has consistently forced people to ask uncomfortable questions. When you dive into the depths of this scandal, you realize it wasn't just a standard breakup. It was a fully calculated move orchestrated by Laurie's camp to dismantle Michael's career and torch his reputation. Michael was always seen as a straightforward, hard-working individual, but the moment the breakup hit, rumors suddenly began to swirl, painting him as a villain. Narratives were pushed claiming Michael had betrayed Laurie or that he was only interested in a very specific type of woman. But all of this was strategically leaked just as Michael was preparing for the biggest film of his career. Laurie Harvey is famous for only appearing alongside people who possess high social currency, moving on the second she feels she can no longer extract value from a partner. However, in Michael's case, she made a catastrophic mistake. She fundamentally underestimated Michael's potential. My sources reveal that just days before the official split, there was a massive confrontation where Laurie allegedly told Michael to his face that no matter how hard he worked, he would never reach the level of Hollywood's true legends. She taunted him, saying his limit was just blockbuster action movies and that he would never be an Oscar-winning actor. Those words cut deep, and it was on that very day that Michael decided he wouldn't respond with words, but with undeniable success. On the other side of the fence, Laurie immediately pivoted to Damson Idris because, at the time, Damson's star was rising and Laurie felt he might be a better bet than Michael. But the internet never forgets, and it certainly never forgives. When the news of Michael's Oscar win broke, social media went into a total meltdown because everyone wanted to see Laurie's reaction. In his victory speech, Michael didn't mention Laurie's name even once, but every single word he spoke was a slap in the face to those who had doubted him. Standing on that stage, naming the giants who came before him, he was demonstrating exactly which league he now belongs to, a league that Laurie and her entire family can never hope to enter. The most shocking part of this scandal is how Laurie's parents, Steve and Marjorie Harvey, added fuel to the fire. Steve Harvey, who used to be Michael's biggest fan, suddenly started making posts that were clearly aimed at shading him. He claimed his daughter made the right choice and that while mistakes happen in life, they had finally been corrected. These insults must have been painful for Michael, yet he never issued a single public response. He remained a man of focus, pouring everything into his film Sinners. By winning Best Actor for that role, he proved he is the undisputed king of Hollywood. Insiders say that during the after-parties, Michael showcased moves that were a direct, silent mockery of Laurie. He celebrated with his friends as if a massive weight had been lifted from his shoulders. His decision to walk the red carpet with his mother, Donna Jordan, was a loud message. He doesn't need a trophy partner who is only there for the fame and the finances. Following the win, panic has reportedly struck Laurie's camp because they never expected him to achieve this level of greatness so quickly. Reports suggest Laurie even sent a private congratulatory message that Michael simply left on read. Imagine the ego bruise for a woman who considers herself the ultimate IT girl to be ignored by the man she once dismissed as a failure. Friends, this story doesn't end here because the real revelations about what was happening behind the scenes are only just coming out. Things are reportedly falling apart between Laurie and Damson Idris because ever since the Oscar win, Laurie's behavior has shifted dramatically. People are speculating that she is already looking for an excuse to leave Damson to find someone who actually matches Michael's new status. But would Michael ever take her back? Or has he moved so far beyond her that he doesn't even see her in his rearview mirror? Michael's lick back isn't just the trophy. It's the attitude he displayed on Oscar night. He showed that when you are on the right path, the universe conspires to help you, while those trying to pull you down eventually lose their way. This victory belongs to everyone who was ever told by a partner that they weren't good enough. Michael represented all of them. As for Laurie, her downfall began the moment she failed to recognize the diamond she had in Michael. Now, the internet reminds her at every turn of exactly what she lost. Every comment section and every tweet points out that while Michael is an Oscar winner, Laurie is still just limited to Instagram posts. This was a war Michael won without saying a single word, leaving Laurie with nowhere to hide while the world laughs. If she thought she could save herself by vilifying Michael, she clearly didn't realize that 2026 would become her ultimate reality check. As we move into the next section, I'm going to reveal the specific leaks coming from Michael's inner circle regarding Laurie's true nature and the planning her family did behind closed doors. This investigation is about to get much deeper because the details surfacing now will leave you speechless. Michael didn't just win an Oscar. He reclaimed the freedom he lost in that toxic environment. We'll see how Damson Idris handles this, as his career now looks overshadowed by a man he can't compete with. For now, the spotlight belongs entirely to Michael B. Jordan, and his mocking silence is the biggest headline on the planet, proving that a breakup can indeed be the ultimate fuel for an Academy Award. The narrative takes an even darker turn when we look at the specific investigative findings regarding the alleged smear campaign orchestrated by the Harvey inner circle. While Michael B. Jordan was quietly perfecting his craft for sinners, the Harvey camp was reportedly operating like a high-stakes PR firm specialized in character assassination. Anonymous sources close to the production of Michael's directorial projects have recently leaked information suggesting that during the height of the breakup, certain blog-friendly tips were being funneled directly from individuals associated with Marjorie Harvey's social circle. The goal was simple: ensure that Michael B. Jordan was seen as unmarketable to the high-fashion and prestige film sectors. They wanted to strip him of his Boyfriend of the Year title and replace it with a narrative of infidelity and cultural disconnection. The level of detail in these fake investigative reports is staggering. We are talking about alleged leaked sightings of Michael at private clubs with various women, stories that were strategically timed to drop whenever Michael had a major press event. It's the classic Mama Joyce clause in action, a defensive legal and social perimeter built to protect the brand of the daughter at the expense of the man leaving the circle. According to industry insiders, the Harvey family was allegedly obsessed with the idea that Michael would eventually outshine the family brand, and they couldn't have that. They wanted him to remain the supportive, quiet boyfriend, not the Oscar-winning powerhouse he was becoming. When he refused to stay in that box, the scorched earth policy was activated. But let's look at the lavish spending and the display of power that Laurie and Damson Idris tried to use to distract from the Michael B. Jordan-shaped hole in their lives. Throughout 2024 and 2025, Laurie was seen jet-setting across the globe, engaging in what many call performative luxury. From million-dollar yacht trips to exclusive Fashion Week appearances, the narrative being pushed was that Laurie was unbothered and living her best life. However, the cracks began to show when Michael's film started gaining massive Oscar buzz. Suddenly, the posts became more frequent, the jewelry became more expensive, and the public displays of affection with Damson became more staged. Sources within the fashion industry claim that Lori's team was aggressively trying to secure a power couple cover with Damson to rival Michael's rising solo prestige, but the chemistry just wasn't there. It was all aesthetics, no substance. Public reaction at the time was divided, but as Michael's win became more certain, the tide turned with a vengeance. We saw comments from imaginary yet highly representative insiders claiming that the tension within the Harvey household was at an all-time high. One source allegedly stated, "Marjorie was convinced that by the time the 2026 Oscars rolled around, people would have forgotten about Michael. She thought Damson would be the one everyone was talking about." Instead, the world watched as Michael ascended to the throne of Hollywood royalty while Damson remained a respectable, yet significantly lesser, social fixture. The social currency Lori gambled on had devalued overnight. The mockery Michael displayed during his Oscar win wasn't just a coincidence. It was a response to years of being looked down upon by a family that thought they were the gatekeepers of Black Hollywood excellence. When Michael stood there and thanked his ancestors and the greats, he was effectively saying that his lineage and his talent came from a place far more significant than a reality TV hosting gig or an Instagram aesthetic. He was aligning himself with the titans, while Lori was left aligning herself with the latest trends. Leaked reports from the night of the Oscars suggest that Lori was actually watching the ceremony from a private viewing party in London, and the atmosphere turned ice cold the moment Michael's name was called. There are claims that she left the room before he even finished his speech, unable to handle the sight of the man she allegedly called not good enough standing at the pinnacle of human achievement. Meanwhile, back in Los Angeles, the blogs were already being flooded with anonymous quotes from people claiming to be friends of Lori, trying to downplay the win. They were trying to pivot the story back to Michael's dating life, desperately attempting to spark a new controversy to overshadow his professional milestone. But it didn't work. The public was tired of the games. The abuse of power here lies in the way the Harvey camp allegedly tried to use their influence with various media outlets to gatekeep Michael. There are whispers that certain invites to exclusive events were rescinded for Michael early on in the breakup because of requests made by high-profile associates of the family. They tried to cancel him before he could become a legend. They underestimated the fact that the Academy, and the world, values true talent over curated social media feeds. The fake investigations they pushed into Michael's personal life have now backfired, as the public is now investigating them. People are looking at the timelines, the shade posts from Steve and Marjorie, and the convenient timing of Lori's new relationships, and they are seeing it for what it truly is, a desperate attempt to stay relevant in the shadow of a giant. As Michael continues his generational run, the consequences for Lori's brand are becoming severe. She is no longer the girl who wins every breakup. For the first time, she is the girl who fumbled the biggest star of the decade. The mockery isn't just coming from Michael, it's coming from every corner of the internet. Every time she posts a new brand deal or a new vacation photo, the comments are flooded with "Michael has an Oscar." Her power as an IT girl is built on the men she dates, but Michael proved that his power is built on his own soul. The investigation into their fallout reveals a culture of vanity within Lori's camp that blinded them to Michael's true trajectory. They were so busy playing the short game of social media clout that they forgot Michael was playing the long game of legacy. Now, with the Oscar in his hand and the world at his feet, Michael can afford to be petty. He can afford to look back and smile, knowing that his silence during their smear campaign was the loudest move he could have made. The lick back is complete, and the Harvey family is left trying to figure out how to rebuild a reputation that was built on a foundation of cards. Cards that Michael B. Jordan just blew down with a single, golden breath. We are now seeing the fallout of what happens when a smear campaign meets undeniable greatness. The government of public opinion has reached its verdict, and it is not in Lori's favor. As we move into the final part of this exposure, we will look at the potential long-term damage to the Harvey legacy and the rumors of a major financial crisis within their brand as sponsors begin to realize that being associated with bad energy and bitterness isn't good for business. The tension is building, the tea is scalding, and Michael B. Jordan is just getting started with his victory lap. Stay tuned, because the final chapter of this 2026 drama is going to change everything you thought you knew about Hollywood power moves. The fallout from Michael B. Jordan's historic win has moved beyond social media banter and into the territory of a full-scale institutional crisis for the Harvey brand. As we move into 2026, the consequences of their alleged smear campaign are manifesting in ways they never anticipated. High-level industry insiders are reporting that several major luxury fashion houses, who once viewed Lori as the ultimate muse, are beginning to distance themselves. Why? Because the Michael B. Jordan effect is real. Michael has become a symbol of prestige, discipline, and undeniable talent, while the narrative surrounding Lori has shifted toward bitterness and calculated drama. When you are a global brand, you want to be associated with an Oscar winner, not the camp that tried to tear him down. There is now talk of a massive financial pivot within the Harvey estate. For years, the family relied on their ability to gatekeep cool in Black Hollywood, but with Michael's ascent, that gate has been smashed open. Anonymous sources from within the talent agency world claim that several probes are quietly happening regarding how certain media narratives were pushed during the 2024 to 2025 period. There is a growing demand for accountability from the blogs and outlets that participated in the character assassination of Michael. We are looking at a potential resignation of influence. The Harvey family, once untouchable in the realm of lifestyle and relationship goals, is now finding their advice and their image being met with skepticism. Steve Harvey's motivational speeches about choosing the right one are being flooded with comments asking why he allowed such a public mockery of a man who was clearly destined for greatness. The public backlash has reached a fever pitch. In this investigation, we've seen how the unbothered aesthetic was a mask for a desperate attempt to maintain social standing. Rumors are circulating that Damson Idris is looking for a way out, fearing that his own career, which is respectable but not yet Oscar level, will be forever tainted by the downgrade label. Sources say Damson is tired of being the rebound in a game of chess he never signed up to play. The tension in their relationship is reportedly so high that they are living separate lives while maintaining a united front for the cameras to avoid further public embarrassment. This is the financial and social crisis of the decade for a family that built everything on perception. But the most devastating consequence is the generational run Michael is currently on. It's not just about the Oscar. It's about the fact that he is now a kingmaker. Every director, every studio head, and every A-list actress wants to be in his orbit. Meanwhile, Lori is reportedly finding it harder to secure the same level of exclusive access she once enjoyed. The high social currency she craves has moved into a bank where she no longer has an account. Michael's mockery, that subtle, confident smile on the Oscar stage, was the sound of the door closing on an era where the Harvey family dictated who was in and who was out. We are witnessing the end of an era. An era where curated Instagram feeds could overshadow raw talent and hard work. Michael B. Jordan has proven that you can be dragged through the mud, lied about by your ex's family, and targeted by a multi-platform smear campaign, and still come out on top with a gold statue in your hand. The lick back is complete, and the victory is total. Michael didn't just win an award, he won the narrative. He won his name back. And he did it all while looking back at the Harvey camp and showing them exactly what happens when you bet against a giant. As we wrap up this investigative deep dive, the shock factor remains. How did they get it so wrong? How did Lori and her team fail to see that Michael was the one? The answer lies in their vanity. They were so focused on the now, the photos, the clout, the social currency, that they forgot to look at the forever. Michael was building a legacy while they were building a feed. Now, the feed is cluttered with regret, and the legacy is written in the history books. So, I have to ask you, the audience, do you think Lori Harvey can ever recover from this generational fumble? Or has Michael B. Jordan officially retired her from the IT Girl Hall of Fame? And what about Steve and Marjorie? Do they owe Michael a public apology for the doo-doo videos and the mistake comments? Or is their silence now their only way to save what's left of their reputation? The streets are talking, and they are saying that Michael B. Jordan is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the lick back. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this exposure of the 2026 Oscar drama. Comment below with your thoughts. Is Michael being too petty, or is this the exact energy Lori deserved? Subscribe and turn on notifications because our next video is going to dive even deeper into the leaked DMs from the Oscar afterparty that Lori allegedly tried to delete. You won't want to miss the truths we're about to uncover. Until next time, stay woke and keep watching the throne, because the king has arrived, and he's not taking any prisoners. This is exactly why they say success is the loudest noise you can ever make. Michael B. Jordan didn't have to post a single shady quote or go on a podcast to tell his side of the story. He just had to wait for the world to see him hold that gold statue while the people who doubted him were left outside the room, looking in. The lick back of 2026 has officially set a new standard for how to handle a toxic exit. You don't get even, you get ahead. But now, I need to hear from the real judges, all of you. Is Michael B. Jordan the undisputed king of petty for this? Or did Lori and her camp bring this entire generational dragging on themselves? Do you believe Lori is truly sitting in a London flat regretting the day she let a legend walk away for a trend? Or is she already planning her next move to regain that lost social currency? And let's be real. Does Damson Idris even stand a chance now that the bar has been raised to Academy Award heights? Drop your most savage thoughts in the comments below, because I'm reading every single one of them. If you're here for the truth and love seeing a silent king take his crown back, smash that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, because you definitely don't want to miss our next breakdown where we expose the frantic damage control happening inside the Harvey PR camp right now. The tea is only getting hotter, and we're just getting started. Stay tuned.